Part 1. Introduction. What if I told you that your daily dose of chocolate might actually be protecting your heart and fighting the silent inflammation that ages your body? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear could change how you think about cocoa forever. Welcome back to Rooted Health Revival, where we dive deep into the latest scientific discoveries that could transform your well-being. I'm your host, and I want to start today by expressing my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you who have subscribed, shared our episodes, and left those incredibly thoughtful comments. Your support means the world to us, and it's what drives us to bring you the most cutting-edge health research every week. Today, we're exploring a fascinating study that emerged from one of the most comprehensive clinical trials of our time. Research that suggests cocoa extract supplements might be doing something remarkable inside our bodies. We're talking about fighting inflammation, protecting our hearts, and potentially slowing down the aging process itself. This isn't just another feel-good story about chocolate. This is serious science from Mass General Brigham, involving over 20,000 participants and published in the prestigious journal Age and Aging. So grab your favorite warm beverage, maybe even a cup of cocoa, and let's unpack what could be a game-changing discovery in the world of nutritional medicine. Part 2. The Science Unveiled. Let me paint you a picture of what researchers have been grappling with for years. As we age, our bodies develop what scientists call inflammaging, a chronic, low-grade inflammation that quietly wreaks havoc on our cardiovascular system, hardens our arteries, and accelerates the aging process. It's like having a smoldering fire inside your body that you can't see or feel, but it's slowly damaging everything around it. Until recently, we've had limited tools to fight this invisible enemy. But that's where Cocoa Flavanols enter the story. Dr. Howard Sesso, the corresponding author of this groundbreaking study and Associate Director of the Division of Preventative Medicine at Brigham and Women's Hospital, explains their motivation perfectly. He says, and I quote, "Our interest in cocoa extract and inflammaging started on the basis of cocoa-related reductions in cardiovascular disease. We also appreciate the important overlap between healthy aging and cardiovascular health, where aging-related inflammation can harden arteries and lead to cardiovascular disease." Now, here's where the story gets truly fascinating. The researchers didn't just conduct a small-scale study with a handful of participants. Between 2014 and 2020, they launched Cosmos, the Cocoa Supplement and Multivitamin Outcomes Study, a massive, randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial involving 21,442 participants, all over 60 years old. This is the gold standard of medical research, folks. When scientists want to prove something beyond doubt, this is exactly the kind of study they design. And the results? They found that cocoa extract supplementation decreased cardiovascular disease mortality by an astounding 27%. But here's what makes this new research even more exciting. The scientists wanted to understand the why behind these heart protective effects. So they took a subset of 598 participants and analyzed their blood samples over 2 years, looking specifically at 5 key markers of inflammation. What they discovered was remarkable. Among these 5 inflammation biomarkers, which included high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, interleukin-6, tumor necrosis factor alpha, interleukin-10, and interferon gamma, one stood out with crystal-clear results. High-sensitivity C-reactive protein, or hsCRP as the researchers call it, is like a smoke detector for inflammation in your body. When this marker is elevated, it signals increased risk of cardiovascular disease. And here's the incredible part. Participants taking the cocoa extract supplement saw their hsCRP levels decrease by 8.4% each year compared to those taking the placebo. Let me put that in perspective for you. This isn't a one-time improvement. This is a consistent, year-over-year reduction in a key inflammatory marker that doctors use to assess your cardiovascular risk. It's like having a built-in fire extinguisher working continuously inside your body. Part 3. The deeper implications. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly are these cocoa flavanols and why are they so powerful? Dr. Yanbin Dong, the senior author of this study and director of the Georgia Prevention Institute, helps us understand this better. Flavanols are small, bioactive compounds found not only in cocoa beans, but also in berries, grapes, and other plant-based foods. Think of them as nature's little protective agents, evolved over millions of years to help plants defend themselves against environmental stressors. And it turns out, when we consume them, they can help protect us too. The participants in this study were taking a standardized cocoa extract supplement containing 500 milligrams of cocoa flavanols daily, including 80 milligrams of a specific compound called Epicatechin. This isn't the same as eating a chocolate bar. We're talking about concentrated, standardized extracts that deliver consistent doses of these beneficial compounds. But here's where the research gets even more intriguing. The scientists also observed an increase in interferon gamma, an immune-related cytokine, in the participants taking cocoa extract. Dr. Dong admits this opens new questions for future research, saying, while cocoa extract is not a replacement for a healthy lifestyle, these results are encouraging and highlight its potential role in modulating inflammation as we age. What I find particularly compelling about this research is how it bridges the gap between traditional nutrition science and modern preventative medicine. For years, we've heard about the potential benefits of dark chocolate and cocoa, but most of those studies were small-scale or conducted in laboratory settings. This Cosmos trial represents something entirely different. Real-world evidence from thousands of people followed for years. It's the kind of robust data that changes medical guidelines and influences public health recommendations. And the implications extend far beyond just cocoa. Dr. Sesso emphasizes this broader point beautifully. This study calls for more attention to the advantage of plant-based foods for cardiovascular health, including cocoa products rich in flavanols. It reinforces the importance of a diverse, colorful, plant-based diet, especially in the context of inflammation. Think about that for a moment. We're not just talking about a single supplement or superfood. We're talking about a fundamental understanding of how plant-based compounds can actively combat the inflammatory processes that contribute to aging and disease. The researchers found that while other inflammatory markers remained relatively stable, that consistent year-over-year reduction in hsCRP suggests that cocoa flavanols might be targeting specific inflammatory pathways. It's like having a precision tool rather than a blunt instrument in the fight against inflammaging. And here's something particularly interesting for our listeners. The research showed some gender-specific effects. Female participants experienced a small reduction in interleukin-6, another inflammatory marker, while male participants did not. This suggests that the benefits of cocoa flavanols might vary between individuals, opening up exciting possibilities for personalized nutritional interventions in the future. Part 4. Practical Implications and Conclusion. So, what does all of this mean for you and your daily life? Let's get practical for a moment. First and foremost, this research provides compelling scientific support for something many of us have hoped might be true, that foods we enjoy can also be genuinely good for our health. But it's crucial to understand that the participants in the study weren't eating chocolate bars or drinking sugary hot chocolate. They were taking standardized cocoa extract supplements with specific concentrations of flavanols. The researchers used supplements containing 500 milligrams of cocoa flavanols daily. To put that in perspective, a typical dark chocolate bar contains far less, and milk chocolate contains even less than that. If you're interested in incorporating more flavanols into your diet through food sources, you'd want to focus on high-quality dark chocolate with a high cocoa content, berries, grapes, and tea. But here's the bigger picture. This research reinforces something we've been learning across multiple studies: the power of a diverse, plant-based diet in supporting healthy aging. Dr. Sesso's emphasis on colorful plant-based foods isn't just poetic language, it's scientifically grounded advice.
When you eat a variety of fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and yes, even quality cocoa products, you're providing your body with a complex array of bioactive compounds that work together to support your health. The flavanols in cocoa are just one piece of this larger nutritional puzzle. What excites me most about this research is that it represents a shift in how we think about nutrition and aging. Instead of just trying to avoid bad foods, we're learning how specific compounds in good foods can actively fight the processes that lead to disease and aging. The 27% reduction in cardiovascular disease mortality found in the larger Cosmos trial isn't just a statistic. It represents real lives saved, real families kept whole, real years of healthy living gained. And now, with this inflammation research, we're beginning to understand the biological mechanisms that make these benefits possible. The team of researchers, led by Dr. Sesso at Mass General Brigham and Dr. Dong at Augusta University, isn't stopping here. They're continuing to evaluate the Cosmos trial data to determine whether cocoa and multivitamin regimens can address other aspects of healthy aging. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this thought. We're living in an incredibly exciting time for nutritional science. Research like the Cosmos trial is providing us with evidence-based tools to support our health as we age. And it's moving us beyond folklore and wishful thinking into the realm of proven, measurable benefits. Whether you choose to incorporate more flavanol-rich foods into your diet, consider supplements after consulting with your healthcare provider, or simply use this information to make more informed choices about your nutrition, you now have access to some of the most cutting-edge research in the field.
Before we close, I want to express my sincere gratitude to each of you for joining me today and for being part of our Rooted Health Revival community. Your engagement, your questions, and your feedback drive us to bring you the latest and most important health research every week. If today's episode opened your eyes to the fascinating world of flavanols and inflammaging, I'd be incredibly grateful if you could take just 30 seconds to subscribe to our show, share this episode with someone who might benefit from this information, and leave us a comment about what health topics you'd like us to explore next. Your support helps us reach more people with evidence-based health information, and together, we're building a community of informed individuals who are taking control of their health and aging process. Until next week, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep prioritizing your health. This is Rooted Health Revival, and I'll see you in the next episode. Before you go, please remember that the information shared in today's episode is for educational purposes only and is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult with your healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet, supplements, or health regimen, especially if you have existing health conditions or are taking medications. The research we discussed represents promising findings, but individual results may vary, and more research is always needed to fully understand the implications of nutritional interventions.